there have been people who have been extremely elated, right, and really buy into the idea and love it. There have been naysayers, of course. By and large, the local community that is involved in similar activities, other local charities, nonprofit organizations that are doing things impactful throughout the world and in our local community, and particularly in the lives of children, have been very interested in what we've been trying to do. On a personal level, there's been some people who completely understand it and love it and support the idea, and there have been those who are somewhat tentative, right? My own wife has been initially, she's been very supportive all along. She was somewhat tentative about the actual humanitarian service and what we do. It can be a little overcoming sometimes for some people, a little almost threatening per se, in that a lot of humanitarian service retreats or missions, you don't necessarily have a direct relationship to the people involved. You might meet some people, you might spend a little time with them, but we go and we spend 2 or 3 days with kids, and we're trying to, more than just building them a building, right? We're trying to make a direct impact in their lives and help them change their thought processes of what their life is and what it can be. And so that can be a little overwhelming sometimes for some people. For some people it's easier to go swing a hammer than it is to go and sit down. And sometimes, to be frank, sometimes you're mobbed by many children all at once, and it can be a little overwhelming. But it's amazing. It's amazing and it's beautiful. So my wife was a little bit tentative about that factor until in July. We were in Costa Rica and went to visit the orphanage that we'll be working with in November and moving forward. And she had the same experience of these children opening their arms to her and extending unconditional love, immediately bonded with those children. Immediately there was a very amazing experience. Her motherly instinct kicked in, and she wanted to make everything all right. There were children who were maybe ill or perhaps had some sort of disability. There was, children who were upset and didn't want to eat and things like that. And she, her motherly instinct kicked in, and she wanted to make everything right. So much so that, we left and she wanted to adopt all of them, right? And which is fantastic and amazing and noble, but not all of us can do that all the time, right? And so our objective as Elevate is to become friends and mentors to the children. If a guest ultimately decides that they would like to adopt one of those children, that is, that's going to be their decision, right? That's not our overall objective. Is just to become their friends and mentors and to be involved with them. I should mention that we do return back to our same destinations so that our guests have opportunities in the future, to go back and visit the same children, particularly if they've decided to formulate a more long-term relationship with some of the children. And so it was an amazing experience, and my wife was nervous about it up front, but now she's 100% gung-ho and 100% on board with what we're doing, and understands what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it.